Phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordates include Mirinditorostomes. Characteristic features: Hemichordates have tripartite body plan. It means that body of these animals is divided into three regions: proboscis, collar, and trunk. They have pharyngeal gill slit system. They have buccal diverticulum or stomochord. Circulatory system is open and they have complete digestive tract. Phylum Hemichordata include two classes, class Enteropenusta and class Pterobranchia. Class Enteropenusta, it includes acorn worms. Acorn worms live in marine environment, occupy U-shaped burrows. Average size of worm is from 10 to 40 cm, whereas some worms can be as long as 2 meter. Body structure. Acorn worm's body is divided into three regions: proboscis, collar, and trunk. Acorn worm's name is derived from the appearance of proboscis, which resembles acorn, that is a nut of oak. Proboscis is short conical projection at worm's anterior end. Collar is present posterior to proboscis, and trunk is the third division of body. Along with three body regions, that is proboscis, collar, and trunk, Phylum or body cavity is also divided into three cavities: Phylum in the proboscis region, Phylum of the collar region, and Phylum in the trunk region. Epidermis is ciliated and it has glandular cells which covers the acorn worm. Mouth is located ventrally between proboscis and collar. Gill slits. Pharyngeal gill slits are opening which are present between the pharynx and outside of the body. Few to several hundred pharyngeal gill slits are positioned laterally on the trunk. Buccal diverticulum or stomochord is a small diverticulum of gut tract that extends into proboscis. It provides structural support to proboscis and help animal in feeding. Feeding. Acorn worms are deposit or suspension feeders. They use cilia and mucus to trap food particles. Detritus and other particles adhere to mucus covered proboscis. Tracts of cilia transport food and mucus posteriorly and ventrally. Ciliary tracts converge near mouth and form a mucoid string that enters the mouth. Acorn worms may reject some substances trapped in mucoid string by pulling proboscis against the collar. Ciliary tracts of collar and trunk transport rejected material and discard it posteriorly. Digestion. Digestive tract of acorn worm is simple tube. Hepatic sac is diverticula of gut. It releases enzymes. These enzymes digest food. Worm extends its posterior end out of burrow during defecation. Fecal material is called casting. These castings are present at low tide on substrate at burrow openings. Nervous system of acorn worm is ectodermal in origin. It lies at base of ciliated epidermis. Nerve tract include dorsal and ventral nerve tracts or nerve cords. Network of epidermal nerve cells called nerve plexus is present. Dorsal nerve is tubular and usually act as giant nerve fiber that rapidly transmit impulses. No major ganglia are present in nervous system of acorn worms. Sensory receptors are unspecialized and they are widely distributed over the body. Respiration in acorn worms. Respiratory gases are exchanged at pharyngeal slits. Cilia associated with pharyngeal slits circulate water into mouth and out of the body through pharyngeal slits. Gases are exchanged by diffusion between water and blood sinuses surrounding the pharynx. Circulatory system of acorn worms. Open circulatory system is present in acorn worms. In open circulatory system, blood flows through open pores or sinuses and simple blood vessels are present without a closed network. Blood of acorn worm is colorless, it lacks cellular elements and it distributes nutrients and waste. Blood is without any respiratory pigment because gas exchange occurs mainly through body surface and pharyngeal slits. Blood vessels include a dorsal vessel and a ventral vessel. Blood moves anteriorly in dorsal vessel whereas it flows posteriorly in ventral vessel. Branches from these vessels lead to open sinuses. Kidney heart complex or heart vesicle is located near proboscis phylum. It is pulsatile in nature and help in pumping blood. So, circulatory system of acorn worms include a dorsal and ventral vessels and a dorsal heart. Excretion. Metabolic waste of acorn worm is ammonia. Single glomerulus connected to blood vessel is considered as a metanephridium. Blood flowing anteriorly passes into a series of blood sinuses called as glomerulus. Excretory waste may be filtered through glomerulus into coelom of proboscis and released to outside through one or two pores in the wall of proboscis. Reproduction and development. Enteropenusta are dioecious. It means that they have two homes, which means that gonads, male and female gonads, are present in separate organisms. Fertilization is external. Two rows of gonads lie in body wall in interior region of trunk. Each gonad opens separately to the outside. Spawning of one worm induces spawning in others. This behavior is controlled by some spawning pheromone. Acorn produce ciliated larvae called Tornaria. It swims in plankton for several days to few weeks. Larvae then settles to substrate and it gradually transforms into adult. Sometimes acorn can increase their number by fragmentation and regeneration. Examples of enteropenusta include planoglosses and sacoclosses. Class Pterobranchia, it includes marine, small, colonial, or solitary tube-dwelling organisms. They live in secreted tubes on ocean floor or attached to substrate. They are very small, typically less than 5 mm in length. Their body structure is similar to other hemichordates, that is, their body is divided into three regions: proboscis, collar, and trunk. Here, proboscis is used for secreting tubes and attachment to the substrate. Collar bear arms with ciliated tentacles for filter feeding. Trunk contains digestive and reproductive organs, which ends in a stalk for attachment. Feeding. Pterobranchs are suspension feeders. Collar bears arms with ciliated tentacles. Food is captured in mucus on crown of tentacle and is transported with ciliated grooves to the mouth. Digestive tract is U-shaped with anus near the mouth. Food enters in the pharynx where minimal processing occurs. It then moves into esophagus and then into stomach where extracellular digestion occurs by enzymes. Partially digested food passes into the intestine for further breakdown and absorption of nutrients. Undigested waste is transported to anus located at posterior end of the trunk and is expelled outside the body through epidermis. Respiration occurs through diffusion in pterobranchs with the help of structural features. These structural features include pharyngeal openings or pharyngeal gill slits present in the collar region, which may increase the surface area available for gas exchange, although these gill slits are not as pronounced as in other hemichordates. Ciliated tentacles help generate water currents, and these currents ensure constant supply of oxygenated water over the respiratory surface. Diffusion is a well-suited method of respiration in pterobranchs because pterobranchs are small-sized animals with a sedentary lifestyle. Excretion. Metabolic waste of pterobranchs is primarily ammonia. Due to the small size of animal and thin tissues, direct diffusion of waste product across the body surface into the water occurs very easily. The same cilia that generate water current for filter feeding also help circulate water around the body, effectively removing metabolic waste from immediate vicinity of the organism. Circulation is same as in a conworm. Reproduction. Acorn can increase their number by budding, leading to colony formation in some genera. External fertilization can also occur with free-swimming larval stages. These larvae settle onto a substrate and metamorphose into adult. This planktonic stage facilitates dispersal. As you know that adult pterobranchs are sessile, so planktonic larval stages facilitates dispersal, increasing the chances of colonizing new areas. Summary. Phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordates body is divided into three regions: proboscis, collar, and trunk. Hemichordates include two classes: Enteropenusta and Pterobranchia. Enteropenusta are solitary burrowing deposit feeders. Pterobranchia are colonial tube dwelling suspension feeders.